Brittany Miller is a TikTok influencer with over 3.5 million followers who has recently come under fire for faking cancer and kind of apologizing for it. Now, I know that this sounds crazy. I know that's a crazy summary, right? And quite frankly, there's nothing really much else to say. She faked having cancer and people are outraged by it. So I'm gonna now tell you what happened with the fake cancer stuff, watch her apology video, and also give my opinion on it because I have weird connections with people faking cancer. I have my own anecdote that you guys might remember. So I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about that today. A British influencer with millions of followers has been exposed for keeping a dark secret, and now she's finally broken her silence. Brittany Miller is known for sharing wholesome content about life as a loving mum to twins with her 3.5 million TikTok followers, from showing off her nutritious toddler recipes to enjoying family walks in the woods. Nobody gives a fuck. But back in 2017, she was a little-known 21-year-old living in Oxfordshire, dreaming of becoming a major social media star. Her small online following was heartbroken when she suddenly revealed she had been diagnosed with stage 3 gastric cancer. Friends quickly rallied around her. A crowdfunding page was launched to offer financial support, and interest in her tragic story began to grow. But as swiftly as a cancer announcement spread, it vanished without explanation. The diagnosis was never mentioned again, and any trace of the story seemed to disappear from the internet. It wasn't until 2020, when Brittany partnered with a breast cancer awareness charity, that her former best friend decided to come forward, revealing the entire illness had been fabricated. The influencer had seemingly pleaded for cash to help fund treatment for a cancer that didn't exist. Yeah, that is the summary of this. This influencer, who is now very famous, I guess. I don't really know how it works with influencing. I would say she's pretty famous, has been exposed for faking cancer. And there's no denying it because she apologised, and people aren't happy with her apology. And I'm going to assume that I probably won't think it's a decent apology either from what I've seen online. And I guess discuss if there are any nuances behind, mental illnessing, because that's, I think, what she falls back on.
I had extremely bad mental health.
Let's just stop yapping and have a look. Okay, so this video has a whopping 11 million views as I speak, which is pretty goddamn crazy. I mean, I also understand why cancer is something that has affected most people. I think most of us know somebody that has either fought cancer or has sadly lost their lives to cancer. I, for one, my grandma died from cancer a couple of years ago, and it is a horrible disease. So to kind of come online and be like, yes, I did fake cancer, is automatically going to bring a lot of people in, so I'm not really shocked by the numbers. But let's see, what the is this world? It's not funny, right? I know I'm laughing, not in a haha funny cancer way, but in a, why is this a real thing? You're sat in front of a camera crying. I'm trying not to judge too harshly before we begin, but you've already kind of pissed me off, to be honest, so let's have a look.
So I never wanted to talk about this time in my life because it was a very difficult time for me. But I owe it to my followers and people that support me to tell you my truth.
I think the interesting thing about opening up with, I never really wanted to talk about this, well, yeah, I guess, because nobody really wants to admit that they faked having cancer, because that is absolutely bloody diabolical. But yeah, I mean, everyone in the comments saying, this takes balls. Yeah, I mean, it takes balls to fake cancer, to be honest. It takes more than balls to fake cancer. But, okay, Katie, you've been a let's just carry on.
I want to put a stop to the people that are twisting and exaggerating what actually happened. So I'm just going to go from the beginning. So back in 2017, I had extremely bad mental health.
Sorry, I know people always get really mad that I stop the video all the time, but I feel like I have to stop at that point because, yes, right, this is the nuance here. Mental illness genuinely will be the reason that she did this. I don't think we can argue with that, right? Mental illness isn't glamorous, it isn't fun, it isn't nice. And when you suffer from severe mental health issues, it does make you do stuff that you don't really, I guess, understand the gravity of what you're doing, okay? We've all probably experienced mental health issues in one way or another. I definitely, when I look back at kind of eras and periods of my life where my mental health has been at an all-time low, I have done stuff that I'm embarrassed about and that I'm ashamed of. I haven't faked cancer. I will say that. But yeah, I think this very much is probably the reason you would do that. It's like, yes, mental illness is an ugly thing, okay? Makes you do ugly things. But obviously, not an excuse, just a reason, which I think we should all bear in mind. A reason, not an excuse. Also, starting off the video as if we all have to just pity you is not really the move, but we'll see how it goes.
Realise how bad, but it was bad. I was depressed, I was suicidal, I was lost, I was confused. I lost my partner, I lost my job. And there was lots of things in that year that led me to be mentally ill. I said something to someone within my immediate circle in confidence. One stupid sentence.
What? Yeah, I might have f***ed up, right, by faking cancer, but this yeah, I lied about faking cancer to her, and I thought she'd keep that a secret. What were you talking about? You lied about having cancer in confidence. Oh, that's all right then. Yeah, well, it's their fault for bloody going around and spreading it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And the comments, by the way. This takes balls, it really does. Now, let's all move on. Did you write this? Actually, that's a negative comment. What else? It takes a lot to apologise and own up to mistakes. And it does, okay? I'm not dismantling that, right? As a YouTuber who has been doing this, for a couple of years now, on people, dogging on people, being so holier than thou. I acknowledge, right, that realistically, I'm judgmental, right? That's what I do for a living. And I'm not going to sit here and doubt anything that she has been through, okay? I don't like it when people do that to me. I'm not going to do that to her. I don't know what she's been through. I don't know how she's felt in these times. I don't. And also, to add, it's done now, right? She has done it. Whether we think people should be censored and deleted from the internet, I actually don't think so. I think you don't have to follow her, unfollow her. As if I was following her, I would just unfollow her. I've never been following her. It's about, I guess, seeing in this situation what she's meant to do. What are the options? What can you do when you f*** up, right? What can you do when you've done a really up thing? Should she be just absolutely annihilated from the internet? No, I don't really think so. It's up to the general public whether she still has a platform, because it's up to the general public to give her a platform, right? What I'm saying here realistically is, I don't know. But yeah, let's continue. I'm being annoying.
That I deeply regret. I said I had an illness, which was cancer.
I will say, I said I wasn't going to judge, but kind of sitting down in front of the camera and like kind of crying, but kind of not. I kind of understand why, because if you actually fully do cry, then you get clowned on. Something I've realised recently. You are very at risk of becoming a lol cow if you react online with emotions, right? Something I've noticed. You come online and you react with actual emotion. It's called a crash out. You're a lol cow. You're in mania. You're crazy, whatever. If you come online and show pure emotion, people categorise you as a lol cow. It's very, very strange. So I understand why people refrain from truly showing emotion, whether that's what she's doing or not, I don't know. Maybe people are saying it looks like crocodile tears, whatever. I mean, I can imagine she probably genuinely doesn't feel too great. I don't think it can be a very nice thing to have up like this and have to come online and be like, yes, I did something absolutely crazy. I can imagine that is crazy, right? You kind of do deserve it though. I think sitting here and having to own up to it and face the backlash is all part and part of being online. Anytime you up, you get hate for it. I've been there. I've up plenty of times. I've said things that I shouldn't have said, and then, rightfully so, my audience calls me and then I'm like, yeah, you know what, I am a and then I think about it and I change and I move forward, right? Whether or not she's deeping it that much, I don't really know. She probably just wants it to be under the carpet, because I would. But then again, maybe she feels relieved, because I reckon if you've been running from the fact that you faked cancer for how many years? Like 8 years? I can imagine that this is a bit of a relief, to be fair. Maybe she's like, yes, I don't have to hide it anymore. Maybe not, actually, but
I didn't do this for malicious intent or to scam people. I did this out of desperation.
I mean, two things can be true at once. I think it's desperation and it was kind of malicious. I don't think it's really up to you to decide whether it was malicious. I think faking cancer for attention is kind of malicious, but now we're just splitting hairs, really.
I did it to keep the people close to me, to keep the people in my life close to me. I don't condone it. I understand why I did it, and I've learned from my mistakes. This was not a long-running scam or a manipulative story like it's been made out to be. The people that I told...
I mean, but it is manipulative. I don't know what... I understand what she's trying to say. I see what you're trying to say. You're saying, like, your mental health was so bad, you were trying to keep people around you. It wasn't meant to be malicious, but it was malicious and it was manipulative. Faking cancer is manipulative. That's a manipulative thing to do. I don't know about this. It's very strange.
Then told a couple of others, and there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I knew about. And as soon as I saw there was 2 donations, I had the page immediately shut down and I didn't take a penny from it. I've grown from this.
I would like to say, and before anyone says I'm defending her, I'm not, but I would like to say and clear up some misinformation, because one thing I can't stand, right, is misinformation that just spreads like wildfire because people think it's fun to just believe whatever the they want on the internet, because that's what the internet does. But people are saying that she had hundreds of thousands of pounds donated to her. She didn't, and I haven't seen a single piece of evidence to say that she had that much money donated to her. Again, any penny, right, that is raised under a false pretense, for charity especially, is a scam. That's fraud. That's illegal, okay? And it's not, according to her friend set it up. I've seen people claim actually it was her that set it up and there's evidence. I don't know, so I'm not going to speak on that. But either way, I don't really know what to say. I mean, yeah, your friends set up a GoFundMe, according to you, because they cared about their friend that had cancer. And for you to say that that wasn't a manipulative thing to do is kind of crazy.
I am working on being the best version of myself. It took me a long time to understand why I did it, and I forgive myself.
I don't know if it's your role to forgive you. I mean, I guess doesn't really mean anything though. It doesn't stand for anything if you forgive yourself. At the end of the day, I'm sat here giving my opinion on this. It doesn't really matter, because if you post and you can still get views and you can still blah, 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 then whatever. Good for you. Obviously, I'm here to give my opinion on it because, first of all, I think it's a horrible thing to do. I think it is a up thing to do. And also, specifically for me, I'll give you the anecdote at the end, but I had a friend who catfished me into thinking that she had cancer, and she made an Instagram account. You guys may remember May. I don't know if you guys remember May. Anybody who was following me for a long time will remember May. Plenty of other YouTubers also knew May. May told me that they had cancer, and May died, apparently, only for me to find out that May didn't die, because I found her funeral online, and it was actually a funeral for a man called Alistair that she'd edited up and streamed to me. So I grieved her, thinking she was dead. This was half a year after my grandma died of cancer. So this is why I want to talk about stuff like this, because I have been at the receiving end, and it was also a lot crazier than this. That person, May, faked her own death and made me believe that she died, and I grieved her. I grieved a second person, thinking that I lost another person to cancer. For me to only find out that it was fake, and then she blocked me on everything. I even did a fundraiser for her on this channel, so that's why I'm talking about this. I'll get into that at the end if you guys still care. It gives a bit of context as to why you might be thinking, Kate, why are you reacting to this? What's the point? This is the point, because I've been on the receiving end, and it's horrible. So there we are. Thank you, Brittany.
Because I was mentally ill, and I'm so deeply sorry to anyone that I've upset or triggered.
Now I'm starting to understand why people are saying, where's the tears? Because I don't know if she's got a filter on, which I kind of need. I've got some fat spots here, but there is genuinely no tears. It's just kind of giving ukulele vibes, you know? The toxic gossip train.
In what I said, I wasn't on social media at the time. This was years before I was even on social media. I didn't do this for likes or followers. And I know how horrible this disease is, and I know how much it affects people. So for that, I am so sorry. I admitted what I did, and I said sorry to the people that I hurt. After it all happened, a year later, I moved away from my hometown because I wanted to work on myself. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be mentally well again. I wanted to surround myself with people that were gonna help me. And I got a job with a fundraising company, and that's how I met Ash. I was able to work for charities, and me and Ash fundraised together for a short period of time. I wasn't good at it at all, but Ash helped me so much.
The thing is, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to get comments, right, that tell me to shut the f*** up, and that's fine. I feel slightly bad, right? And before anyone says, like literally talking to the void because I'm not listening, there is nuance to this, I feel, as I'm watching, because the thing is with mental illness, right, is that it's so glamorized. Oh my God, I just have depression. I'm just so edgy. I'm so depressed. I'm so emo. When depression and anxiety and severe mental health issues are mental healthing, you know, mental health issuing, whatever the verb is. It's ugly, right? It's bad. I've known loads of people who have done stuff, right, when they're really mentally not well. And a mentally unwell person will do stuff. It's not an excuse. It's not a get out of jail free card. I think of all the things that I've done at my worst mental health times, and some of them are kind of up. And I know that they're up, and I'm embarrassed about them, you know? And I know that, like, I want to say mentally healthy me. I wouldn't say I'm 100% mentally healthy, but as someone who is a lot mentally healthier than I used to be, I recognized that I would never do some of the things that I've done in my life, or the ways that I've acted out, or the way I've treated people before, you know? I would never do that now. And I think mental health it's all well and good when people say they support mental health issues. When mental health issues can make you do stuff like this. Well, mental health issues don't make you do stuff like this, but they put your brain in a certain way, which means you feel like those things are, I guess, normal or an option. Again, I just want to reiterate before the keyboard warriors come bombarding in, I don't think this is an excuse. And I think if you have cancer, know someone who's suffered from cancer, as I do, lost someone to cancer, you don't have to forgive her or even give her the time of day. You know, leave her a hate comment and say, shut up or whatever. Like, people saying, oh, you don't deserve the hate. That's not true. Come on. You faked cancer. You did it because, yes, you were in a low place, but it doesn't excuse you. You faked a horrible illness. I don't want to talk about too much because I will cry, but watching somebody that's close to you, I'm actually fighting the tears, die from cancer is horrible. It is really, really horrible. And I know that anybody... I did not expect to cry. Oh my God, I'm gonna just wait a sec. I've composed myself. But, you know, anybody that has seen somebody deteriorate from cancer, they don't have to accept what you're saying or give a about what you're saying. This is the thing. Sometimes because of mental health, you do you don't want to do. You do stuff that's wrong, you get desperate, you do things that healthy brained you wouldn't do. It's not everybody else's job to give a though, right? You hurt people. It doesn't matter why you hurt people, your issue. I acknowledge when I've done stuff at a mentally unwell point in my life, if I've hurt people, I've hurt them. It kind of reminds me of when I was in an abusive relationship. I was a really bad friend because I was consistently only kind of talking to my friends about me. It was all about me. Like, I'm sad, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. It was all about me. And I didn't really think, oh, you know, yes, I'm going through some but my friends have lives, right? They're going through stuff too. And I was not there for them. In fact, I kind of cut all my friends off when I was with my ex-partner. I then, when I got out of the relationship and I became more mentally healthy, I reached out to these people and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I was a terrible friend. I was never there for you guys. I kind of was just using you as an advice guru thing. It was like I just was reaching out to them just to benefit myself, and I was a shit friend as well as just a shit person. Like, if they would ever say to me, Katie, like, you need to get the out of this, or I can't watch you do this to yourself, and I would be like, you know, like, you don't give a about me, I don't need you, and I'd cut them off. And I know that. Yes, I was mentally unwell, but they don't have to give me that space to be a prick if they don't want to. And it's the same with this situation. People that, like myself, like many of you watching who have seen people die of cancer, how fast it is, how horrible it is, how unforgiving the disease is, we don't have to sit here and, you know, accept what you're saying, because we just don't. That's just how life is. And for people to be in the comments saying, stop being horrible, stop the hate train, like, I feel like sometimes, yes, it's not productive, but people are angry and people are going to want to say something. I, for one, don't tend to really leave comments because I just don't see the point. But of course, people are going to comment on you publicly admitting that you faked cancer. Okay? Wow, that was a crazy detour. Yeah, it's just not a very nice topic. I actually didn't expect to have it elicit such a reaction, so I do apologise.
Him and his family helped me so much, and I'll forever be grateful. He was my light at the end of the tunnel. He helped me be well again. He helped me forgive myself. And although I am so emotional when I talk about this, I am mentally well again. And I'm so proud of where I've come from being in that dark place to now. And I'm here because I want to be an advocate for mental health. I want to help people because I know what it's like to be in a dark place, and I want to help people. And I also just want to say a massive thank you to all the people out there that support me and still follow me. When you didn't know my truth, you still believed in me.
I find it slightly irritating that she keeps calling it, like, my truth. I feel like the my truth thing kind of reigns more true to people who are victims in situations. And yes, you're a victim of mental health issues, but so are many people. This situation, like, you were kind of the perpetrator of a bad thing. Okay, maybe I'm just being petty now, but I just find that, like, my truth, me. It's not just about you though, is it? We're also forgetting, by the way, that the friend or the people that she lied to about about it. Like they are the main victims of the situation. They are the people who are at the forefront of my mind when I think about her doing this, you know? To most of the general public, like, yes, it's outrageous to watch. Her actions don't, well, I was going to say they don't directly affect them, but they do, because I just sat here and cried. So that's not, that's not true. Wow, I'm such a little...
If I could go back and change what I did, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was one stupid sentence that I said almost a decade ago, and I've learnt so much from it. And I'm so grateful for you all. And I really, really love you so much.
I'm sorry, but the heart, Lord, give me strength, please. Some thoughts that I'm going to share with you, okay? And they are just spewing out my mouth as I kind of think them, so bear with me. I think apologising in this situation, right, is step one, okay? And changing is also step two, okay? You know, if she came online in a year and said, I have another Alzheimer's, right? And then we find out she doesn't have Alzheimer's, then I might be a bit like, okay, Brittany, we're going backwards here. But if she does genuinely change and yeah, then great. That's great. Do I think she should be deplatformed? Not particularly. I don't think that helps anybody. You know, bear in mind, this is also her job. She has children. Her children are innocent in all of this. And yes, perhaps she should have thought about that before she lied, but obviously she didn't. That's why we're here. I hope, right, step two to this, that she donates the money to a cancer charity, because 11 million views. Oh, and a video that's 5 minutes long. Now, a lot of people were saying that's pennies. I would disagree. That's a decent amount of money. Donate the money, right? I think most people would like that. Obviously, do what you fucking want. It's not my money. But I would say that would be a good start, okay? And I think step three is realising that people aren't going to fuck with you, okay? A lot of people won't fuck with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, all of these like guzzlers that are like, oh, we love you, stop hating on her, she's said sorry, what more do you want? That's unfortunately not how the internet works. Yes, you may say sorry, and great to the people who still want to follow you. You're gonna probably lose a lot of support. It is what it is. That's what happens when you up online. And yeah, that I don't, to be honest, don't really have anything else to say about that. But she's posted a second video, so if it is of any interest, let's have a bloody cheeky look at it. I hate myself, seriously. I hope she outros this one with that as well, because I can't do the heart thing. That looks like I don't know what that is.
So as you all know, 2 days ago, I came out and I spoke my truth. I addressed all the allegations that were made against me about something that happened in my life 9 years ago. But I mean, yes, okay, there were allegations, but they're not wrong. Also, the comment here, emotionally intelligent people will understand. Right, okay, didn't ask. I like to think I'm relatively emotionally intelligent, but it doesn't mean that, like, I just accept everything that comes out of someone's mouth. I don't know. I feel like there's unanswered questions and a few things that I want to clear up and get off my chest. So the first one being is the fact that it's still being portrayed as if I said what I said to scam and take money from people. This is not the case. There was no malicious intent into why I said what I said. I said it out of pure desperation to keep the...
Stop saying that that's not malicious intent. The only way that it wouldn't be malicious intent is if you actually had cancer, okay? Are we good here? I think in order to fully believe the apology, we need to be on the same wavelength there, okay? That is quite literally malicious. What am I saying? Waste of time. Waste of bloody time, clearly.
People in my life close to me. I said it to someone within my immediate circle, and I never, ever, ever wanted it to leave my immediate circle. There was no thought process. It took me a long time to understand why I said what I said, and it was generally because I was mentally unwell. Yes, there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I did know about, and I am guilty of that because I enabled it. So I am guilty, and I am so sorry for that. But as soon as there was donations made, I had the page immediately shut down because I didn't say what I said for that. The second thing being is the fact that people are saying that I forgive myself. I didn't say that I forgive myself in an arrogant way, and I didn't mean it in that way. Forgiving yourself is all part of the healing process, and it's all part of your healing journey. Letting go of past mistakes.
I mean, yeah, she's not wrong, okay? There's no arguing with that. That is the truth. But that's only if you've genuinely changed, which I don't know. I'm not you. I don't know if you've genuinely changed, so it's kind of hard for me to say. I genuinely don't want to sit here and just say you're blah, 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 because that's not helping anybody. It's not, okay? And like, yes, I'm a usually, and it's not that I don't think this is serious. I can't argue with that. It probably, although I don't think it is your place to forgive yourself in this situation, and just because you forgive yourself doesn't mean everyone else has to forgive you. It's also not a bad thing if you are genuinely trying to better yourself and move on, I guess. Standing
why you did it, stopping the self-punishment, it's all part of the process of healing and growing from it, learning from your mistakes. And it took me a long time to feel that. And the third thing being is the fact that people are saying that I'm using mental health as an excuse. Mental health is not my excuse, but it's my reason. No one in their right frame of mind would come out and say that unless they had malicious intent. I said it because I wanted people around me. I said it for reasons that took me a long time to understand. No one mentally well would do that. When you feel that low,
I mean, yes, that is true, but I feel like you could say that to a lot of different crimes, couldn't you? It's like, and before anyone says you're comparing her to that, that's not what I'm saying, but think about crimes that you can commit, right? Like things that you can do to other people that are illegal. Stabbing someone or like assaulting somebody. Yeah, no one mentally okay is doing that. Well, actually, no, some people probably are. No, yeah, nobody you've got issues, right? Yes, but that's not like, I feel like people do say that quite a lot as an excuse, and it's like, it's not. But then again, as I'm saying these things, I don't really know what else she has left to do. I hope that she donates the money. That's all I'm saying from these videos, because yes, she's right, it's done now. Realistically, what else is there for her to do other than say sorry and take accountability? But again, people don't have to buy it and people don't have to give a fuck. That's the way of the internet, I'm afraid. I think the people in the comments that are like, it's been 9 years, you guys need to move on. It's like, well, you don't get to tell people how to feel. You know, everybody has their own mind. Everyone has their own choices that they make, how they want to respond to this. You know, it's whatever. Anyway, I'm done watching that now. I think we're kind of just repeating ourselves. But just to conclude with my anecdote about the girl who faked cancer to me and many other YouTubers, this girl reached out to me in the first I hadn't even got 10k subscribers, and it was an email saying, hey, my friend May has cancer, she really loves your videos, it would be amazing if you could call her on Discord because it's one of her last Christmases most likely, and she was 17 at the time. And obviously I've just at this point lost my grandma to cancer. She had cervical cancer and she was diagnosed, and within 2 months she passed away. So pulling on my heartstrings, naturally, I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, I've got 10k subs, like, I'm literally nobody. Who am I to say no, right? So I organised this call, and it was really weird. I called this girl on Discord, and it was her friend who would, like, set up the call on my behalf, and then the girl answers, and this girl has tubes in her nose and a bandana on, and she's lovely, and we talk about another woman online who faked having cancer for views, and we talked about how abhorrent that is. And then I said I was going to do a fundraiser for her, pick a charity, and I did that. It's on one of my early Alphaba videos. And I'm friends with this girl for quite a few months. We talk a lot. I'm always checking in on her. She reached out to, I don't know if you guys remember, she reached out to so many different YouTubers. I'm Alex, who did a video talking about it, if you guys remember that. I don't even want to talk about him. But loads of people. Anyway, loads of things happened that started to get a little bit suspicious, right? And obviously that's crazy because something big has to happen for you to be suspicious that someone's lying about cancer. Long story short, I then take to YouTube. I try and find her funeral because when I spoke to her parents, and her parents said that I couldn't go to the funeral because it's a closed funeral, but they're streaming it. So they streamed me a funeral, and it was very, very realistic. I don't know what else to say. People are going to say that I'm stupid for believing it, but why the fuck would I doubt a girl has cancer? She died a day before her 18th birthday. I obviously was distraught. Me and my boyfriend literally spent all night crying about it. Like, this child's lost her life to cancer. What a up world. Anyway, I find the funeral on YouTube, literally her funeral, but it was actually a random man's funeral. I then messaged her mum asking for the location of her grave so I could put flowers down. Her mum never replied, kept making excuses, said that people had been to the grave and trashed it before it even had a headstone, and I was just like, what? Anyway, I DM'd the girl, May, and I said, I know you streamed me a fake funeral, and she blocked me. She deleted the Instagram account. She deleted every account that she'd ever messaged me on. This girl basically pretended to be multiple people, and yeah, it with my head crazy style. Okay, you can imagine it, right? I grieved this girl. I then find her funeral on YouTube, but it's not her funeral. I then get blocked by her. She then deletes her Instagram account that she had got. I think it was thousands of followers that she had amassed from sharing her cancer journey. Anyway, that's why this story stood out to me. Crazy up. Okay, I did a TikTok about it. I'll link it in the description so you can understand it a little bit more. Because I wanted to talk about this too because I know a lot of people also followed May. Right? and she kind of disappeared, and I feel like a lot of you would like to know what happened. That's what happened. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Sorry I cried, okay? I'm just a little... And sorry that I rambled too much. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know if that's possible. Please leave me a like and a subscribe if you feel partial to do so, okay? And I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it's less depressing. It won't be. It won't be. See you later.